Welcome back to the second half of tonight's news. Papa Ron Crocombe, a man well known for his contributions to the people of the Cook Islands, sadly passed away. And yesterday the general public paid their last respects to a man who contributed largely to the progress of education in the Cook Islands.
A great man has fallen, but his legend lives on in the many lives he has touched throughout the world. Professor Ron Crocombe, as he is known in the academic world, and Papa Ron to his Cook Islands people, passed away in New Zealand last Thursday, the 18th of June. A memorial service similar to a state funeral was arranged for him at the National Auditorium yesterday to allow the public to pay their last respects. Leading his casket from Ngati Bar store to the National Auditorium was his beloved wife Marjorie Crocombe, his daughter Narita Pāriki, Ada Rongomatane of Inua Manu, Ta Rongamana of Tupapanui, and family and friends. Various groups paid their respects by carrying the casket, such as the Tupapa Maraerenga community, the USP community, the Cook Islands Research Association, the Cook Islands Library and Museum Society, the Avachu Rotonganika of Sports Association, the Achu community, and the Nukurua Inua community. The casket was received onto the Tauranga Wānanga land by Secretary Makiuti Tongia and his staff. The funeral party, led by members of parliament, were greeted into the National Auditorium by the haunting sound of the nose flute, courtesy of the Tauranga Wānanga staff. The memorial service was conducted by the Religious Advisory Council, supported by the Apostolic Church. Setting the musical mood for entertainers Curly George and Nia Heather to belt out one of Papa Ron's favorite Cook Islands song with the assistance of his favorite lady Marjorie Crocombe. Papa Ron's life story was revealed in a presentation by his son Tata Crocombe, who delivered the eulogy.
Tēnā koutou, whakalofa i atu. Tā lofa lava, risa muru vinaka, ki rana tātou katoa. Papa thought we should all speak other languages so that we could understand other people better. He loved the South Pacific, and he dedicated his life to education here. He didn't actually choose it. It was a calling for Papa. He told me that as an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, he just wanted to travel. Nothing wrong with New Zealand or where he came from, or the family that he admired and adored and loved, but he just has a sense there was a big world out there, and he wanted to cover every inch of it. And he spent the next, well, until his last days, trying to make sure that he covered every last inch. Papa died on Friday. He and I were both in Auckland, but as the way with Papa, it was 100 miles an hour, and we were supposed to have dinner, but we missed each other, and so I rang him to say, I've just got your message at 8 o'clock, I think it was 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and I'm coming out to the airport hotel he always stayed in, to have dinner. And he said, you're too late, I'm tired, and we can talk on the phone. So we talked on the phone for the next 2 hours. And we talked about all the things that you talk about with Ron Crocombe. Religion, the latest thoughts in genetics, family, friends, politics. But most of all, we talked about my mother, Dad's wife, who he regarded as the most amazing person. They had a life together, a shared life. They shared each other's trials and tribulations. Papa asked Mum to marry her on the first day he met her. Mum wisely took a year to consider. One of Dad's best friends, David Graham, where my other name comes from, said to me recently, your mother was lucky to have Ron as a husband, but not nearly as lucky as Ron was to have your mother as his wife. I told Dad that, and he said, that's absolutely true. And he adored our mother.
Who better to share her personal experiences of Papa Ron, none other than his wife Marjorie Crocombe, his greatest fan and supporter. So much so she dedicated her recent OBE Queen's Honours Award to her husband.
You know, this man he was a crazy man. I loved him to bits, so that's my family. Thank you very much. And here again, I want to dedicate this medal to Papa Ron. Thank you very much.
Each one of us has had a special relationship with Ron Crocombe. He was a very private person, and he touched a lot of people in different ways, but it was a personal relationship with each person. For him, the Prime Minister of a country of many who were his friends was just as interesting, just as important as the guy sweeping the street on the outside. So I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming to today. Papa would have thought it was all a waste of time, frankly, but he always used to say, funerals are for the living, not for the dead. And when I spoke to him after he passed, I said, well, Papa, we're going to have a funeral for you. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to celebrate your life. You've been a good man. You lived a good life. You came from a good family with good values. And you've gone forward into the world, not created too much of a fuss, and got on with life, and mainly helping other people. And I'm sure right now in heaven, he's up there and he's organizing a book, and there's going to be some contributions from Socrates and Marx, and there's going to be some from Jesus and Muhammad and Baha'u'llah, and they're all probably getting together to organize the conference. And we can all look forward to it when we get there.
Work colleagues, family and friends were also invited to share their stories of Papa Ron.
In my tribute, I called him a sage, a wise man. That's what Papa Ron is. So, family. I don't think this is a sad occasion. In fact, I don't usually cry, but I cried a little bit earlier because of the beautiful songs and some of the messages. But I think this is, I always believe that death is a time of celebration. It's not a time of sadness. When someone goes, as Bobby said, he's going, he always travels, he's traveling.
Papa Ron was finally laid to rest in the Ngati Marama Cemetery, Nika'o, close to his residence. On behalf of Cook Islands Television, Radio Cook Islands, Cook Islands Herald and Cook Islands Times, we say rest in peace, Papa Ron. May God be with you and your family. This is Elizabeth Tauru for CITV News.